I'm really gonna phone this in. I hope you guys don't mind. First slide, please. Does anyone recognize this? It's kind of a game. The object is to stare at the dot in the center while keeping your head stationary. You use your peripheral vision to find numbers on the outside ring. Then you count from 1 to 15 and then all the way back down to 1. It should be really easy for everyone here. For me, it was almost impossible because this year I suffered a traumatic brain injury that broke my peripheral vision, among other things. And the reason I'm telling you is that it may cause me to stumble or stutter during my presentation or go a little long. And it's the reason that I don't have an exciting new project to tell you about. Normally I would, but I've spent the last 8 months working on sort of tedious exercises like this. The good news is that I was able to finish my Creative Capital funded project before I had my accident in December, so I'll be able to tell you about that. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I got there. Next slide. So I make movies, difficult movies about difficult people, movies that aren't for everyone, and it sometimes feels like they aren't for anyone, particularly when I'm applying for film festivals. What you're seeing right now is a clip from my first feature project. It's called Seeking Wellness. This sequence was shot entirely through a closed-circuit security camera system in real time while a lot of terrible things happened to innocent people. At the time, I was thinking a lot about the commodification of human suffering and trauma, particularly by the media and the entertainment industry, and I was also sort of coming to terms with my own longtime preoccupation with violence on film, horror, gore, exploitation, pornography, stuff like that. Next slide. Here's another clip from that project that I only included because, this is an old version of this, so I'm gonna have to paint the picture for you. There's a bunch of people in a room just like this, and there's an operating theater, and there's a gentleman in a maroon sweater gorging himself out of human viscera out of the chest cavity of a cancer patient, and the only reason I included it is because he's the star of my Creative Capital project. So you can imagine that, and you'll actually be able to see it in the next slide. Next slide, please. This is the entire 90-minute ordeal in 7 seconds, so pay really close attention and you'll see exactly the thing that I was talking about. And then here's the thing I don't have time to talk about. There's a lot of stuff I don't have time to talk about, but I left it in here because I like watching this actor fall down. Next slide. This is a clip from my second feature project called Invincible Force. It was shot over 90 consecutive days as this actor made an incredible transformation of mind, body, and spirit. Used Betamax, VHS-C, Hi8, Digi8, all obsolete formats to capture aspects of masculinity that I wish were obsolete. Next slide. And I think the results speak for themselves. Pretty inspiring. You too could achieve these incredible results with the help of the 90-day Extreme Invincible Force workout program. It was around this time when I was thinking a lot about sort of nauseating masculinity that a woman I was seeing asked me to have a child with her. And instead of doing that like a normal adult human being, I ended up making a 3-hour documentary about fatherhood called Old Man. Next slide. Here's a part from that movie where I made my dad, who's Jewish, dress up as Santa Claus and read Christmas stories in the snow. I used this movie to examine a history of violence and substance abuse in my family, and also to examine my own history as a violent fuck-up when I was a young person, and my overwhelming fear of bringing a new generation of violent fuck-ups into the world. It was pretty personal and maybe a little solipsistic, so I decided that my next project would be for the masses. So next slide. Entitled Vore King. It's a feature-length documentary about my friend Ray, a sort of transgressive Renaissance man, you can see him there, who now makes a living building carnivorous sex monsters. These cater to a very specific fetish called vorophilia, an eating fetish. It looks like this kind of dropping frames, so you can imagine it in full frame. What you're witnessing right now is the unveiling of the world's largest Vore creature, a genderless beast dubbed Vorehemoth, who ate over 100 willing volunteers in one afternoon during my last day of shooting. I'm supposed to ask for help. I don't really need help with anything. I finished this damn thing. I'd just like to meet anyone who'd want to be involved with a New York City premiere, or anyone who has the guts to program any of my weird, difficult stuff, or anyone who would like to collaborate on future weird, difficult stuff. I have a lot of ideas, but sort of diminished cognitive ability right now. Other than that, I'm just really grateful to be here and to see all my friends and to meet Lisa's dog. And thanks for letting me share.